So we've approached to the ball, we've jumped in the air, we just went over trunk rotation, but a key component of hitting a volleyball and pitching a baseball is trunk extension. From my experience playing D1, playing in the Olympics, being around many coaches, watching YouTube videos, Instagram, I very rarely hear coaches discuss the importance of trunk extension before you unwind to hit. And Brent's gonna give us a little bit of biomechanical reasoning on why that's important.
So the trunk extends so it can go forward. So if they just turn against each other, it's just gonna spin around. Why would you want your trunk to go forward? Is because you wanna come over the ball and hit it down, right? So if I just go in rotation, I'm gonna come around the ball with my arm. So to get the arm in a position where it can roll back and get over and down, the trunk extension is gonna support that. It also puts the scaps, which are the blades in the back of your shoulder, it helps them retract and upwardly rotate, which opens up space for the shoulder to go higher and farther back. As you can see, the more he extends, the more he can go back and back to here. And now that allows him to take his acceleration of energy and go back to forward as opposed to around to the side.
That makes sense. And I've seen in volleyball, I don't know if baseball has it, there's a lot of kids when they first start to play, they'll have a very pikey throw. It's like the spaghetti noodle arm swing where it's all trunk extension.
And it's more elbow extension than rotation.
Exactly. And then there's some people who can kind of, I don't know, they look a little more blocky and more, they don't have much extension. And I think it's really nice when you compare piking with rotating into that, you know, accelerating cascade that we're talking about.
If they're not extending and they're just coming around, their elbows are down. Because their scaps are not.
In volleyball, and then you gotta be.
And they start leaning to try to compensate. So they lean to probably compensate as opposed to extend to compensate to where they want to go.
Got it. And it's interesting, in my opinion, one of the huge components I talk about with trunk extension in volleyball is you can see my shoulders right now, they're rotating in the same altitude. Like this is whatever it is, 10 inches above the ground, 5'10". When I extend, you can see that the shoulders change altitudes and one goes over the other shoulder. It's a huge component in tennis. When you're serving, you get the shoulder over shoulder, and it's not just tilting. It's because you extended and you rotated on that tilted axis. And so volleyball's got a really high arm slot. You know, you can pitch a baseball from out here. Volleyball's got to be here. So if you want to have that high arm slot, a lot of people just say, do this. It's not this. It's what causes that, which is throwing that shoulder up, which then throws the elbow up and the hand up. So a lot of people, when they reach, they're hitting here, they just say here. What I tell my clients usually is you need to get into more trunk extension so you can throw your shoulder up. That's how I usually talk about it. Is that similar? Because we have a way higher arm slot. I'd say that's probably the biggest difference between pitching and hitting. Pitching and then hitting hopefully is
pitching will get there too.
There.
Not everyone gets there. It's more common here, but pitching will get there too. But you made a great point. If you don't trunk extend and you stay in neutral position and you just rotate, you're gonna have to lean to get your arm slot, or you're gonna push your elbow in forward and try to extend to get your arm slot.
Yeah.
You can get away with that, but the arm's not gonna move nearly as fast like this than like that.
A lot of people think, and I see volleyball coaches, they're like, here's how you train your snap. And it's a tricep is not really being used. It's external to internal rotation while your arm is straightening. Yeah. That's what causes straightening. It's not a tricep movement. So working on this, in my opinion, doesn't really move the needle. I don't know what your
there's a lot of injury stuff to that, but I think let's hold on to that when we go into
it helps the elbow, but it's not this. It's this to this, but you're straightening, right, while you're doing it? That's how I understand it.
Well, you know what? Let's go over the arm path, because the arm path stuff is really complex. In the next video. Let's get them just to focus on right now, hips to shoulder, and just play with turning, play with extending and turning, play with the lateral tilt you talked about, and putting it all together, and just see how it works differently with maybe your arm path, and then watch the video on the arm path, and then it'll start making sense.